So welcome to Peaceful Warrior Yoga, and let's start in a comfortable seated position today. And I always like to emphasize the seat in yoga, the way we sit, because the history of yoga, the tradition of yoga is yoga was designed to help us find a comfortable seated position. And it might seem ironic that in this day and age where there's so much information about our sedentary lifestyle, about sitting is the new smoking, I think is the phrase. And it's actually not a true reflection of what creates so much of our issues. It's not sitting is the new smoking, it's the way we sit. It's the way we sit. So in very primitive tribes, they do a lot of sitting as well, but they also change position a lot. They move, and then they come back to the sit, and they can often sit in a squat form, like this, etc. So there's a lot of ways we can sit that can improve our hips, our posture, etc. So one way I like to do is elevate the sit bones, have them up a little higher. One way to do that is with a cushion or a block. And I'll just show you the difference. If I sit down on the ground, you'll notice my knees come up off the ground. My low back arches. But if I have something a little higher, like a cushion or a block, and sit on the edge, the knees come down and the pelvis tilts forward and the posture feels more natural. That's it. And then I use the mind to sit up tall. So it's imagining the mind is lifting up the spine, lifting up the head, so you sit up nice and tall. That opens the hips a little more. And then the mind speaks to the shoulders and the arms to dangle and relax. Palms up, opens the chest, palms down, brings you forward a little more. Up, down, up, down. So all these tiny variations of how to sit. When you fidgeted and found your posture, close the eyes or reduce the focus to vision, let it become soft, peripheral, hazy. So you become more aware of what's going on internally. Do you have reflux? How's your breathing? Are you breathing through the mouth or nose? Or both? Are there aches and pains in the body? Is it possible to relax more without slumping? Is it possible to create a small smile on the face, to let go of the frown? And with all these little changes and questions, what happens to the nervous system? Is there a relaxation that starts to take over? And from this relaxation and from this posture, what does it feel like to start to move? Perhaps starting with the head, turning the head to the left. Inhaling the head to neutral. Exhaling the head to the right. Inhaling neutral and continuing on in that left-right pattern with the breath, with this small movement. Focusing on the neck, noticing the tightness, the release, any aches and pains in the neck. And the next time the head turns to the left, bring the left shoulder back and the left hand behind the back, and the right hand crosses over the midline of the body. Inhale the whole body back to neutral. Exhaling the other side. Inhaling neutral. Exhaling, twisting from one side to the other. Adding the thoracic spine to the cervical spine. Noticing what those small movements do. Perhaps feeling it, the more you move, the more lubrication you get in the spine. You might even find new feelings emerge. And then coming back to neutral, come off whatever you're sitting on and stand the feet in front of you, leaning back into your arms and starting to sway the knees from one side to the other. So finding the final region of the spine that twists, turns, noticing how that feels. The lumbar spine, the sacral spine. How many times do you need to turn before that starts to feel a little more lubricated, a little more fluid? The next time you twist to the right, bring that left arm around and look behind you and reach. Turn the head to the right a little further. So incorporating the whole spine, come back to neutral, inhale, exhale the other side. Remembering to bring the head back further. And then using the whole spine, left and right. Noticing what new feelings arise. Twisting the entire spine. Good. Slowing it down until you come back to neutral. And instead of a big thick object to sit on this time, maybe try something a little narrower, like a cushion, a small cushion, or a rolled up towel or blanket. And sitting on the edge of that, so you once again come back to the way you sit. Slight forward tilt of the pelvis. And this time bringing the soles of the feet together. So just feeling that in the hips. Start a small rocking from side to side. Just noticing how that feels. You might feel that in the hips. You might have to adjust your seat as you get used to it. And then start to let the head hang down towards the side that you're leaning. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, the other side. So you feel your spine become like a bamboo rod that flexes sideways. You might have to adjust your cushion, find something that's better. But you're finding your spine bends sideways. And as you lean to one side, you might feel the hip open a little more. And the next time you tip to the right, take the left hand behind the head. Just feel that added intensity to the bamboo rod of the spine. Turn the head towards the left. There you go, that's better. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, the other side. And then maybe a few more tips side to side. Noticing what it's like to let the spine flex left and right. And how that affects the hips. The neck. The shoulders. Inhaling, coming back to neutral. And extending the legs out in front. So we've twisted the spine, we've bent the spine laterally, and now we just feel this movement of hinging forward and backwards with the legs extended. Forwards, almost like a rowing position, and backwards. Feeling the impact into the thighs, the hamstrings, the low back, mid back, shoulders and neck. Exhaling as you come forward to let the belly have more reach, less impedance. Coming back, inhaling. And start to add the head to this movement as you come forward, dropping the chin to the chest. As you come back, lifting, looking up at the sky, leaning back. Feeling the marvelous ability of the spine to flex and arch. Good. And once again, noticing over time the lubrication in this direction, this dimension of the spine. Good. And the next time you come up, pause as you bend the left knee. And just hug the left knee in towards the ribs. The foot might come off the ground. And we're going to switch here. Release the left leg with control. Pick up the right. Hug it. And change. Side to side. Feeling the hip flexor strength. Control and manage the weight of the leg. So feeling the muscular control of movement. Let's change that bend so that the next time the left leg comes up, you bring it into your, that's right, into your pigeon. And then release and switch. Release and switch. You can even bring the hands above the head to get a little more core workout there. As you switch. And once again, noticing over the number of repetitions, perhaps a little more increase in the range of motion. Some people might even put the leg behind their neck. And then we'll add one more dimension to that. The next time you lift up, do a little Russian twist here, touching both hands to the ground on left, and then right, up, and then change leg. So really hitting the oblique muscles, the outer obliques, the inner obliques, those strong spinal stabilizers. So important for everything we do to have those more superficial abdominal muscles and deeper abdominal muscles stabilizing the spine. Let's do 2 more rounds each side. That's one. I'm feeling this. And that's 2. And then bringing the feet together. Just noticing if that's made any difference to the hips. Feeling butterfly position, shoulders back and down. And then extending the right leg. And this time have a strap handy. And bring the strap over that right foot. So you got the right foot out to the side, toes curled back. And if you have a good yoga strap, you should be able to floss the bottom of the foot, give it a nice wake up, pulling it back and forth. And then working your way down towards the foot. Bringing the left hand forward to reach and create a little more release in that low back. Maybe bringing the head towards the knee more. And then slowly come up. Change legs. Once again, if you have a strap, nice floss there. Break up the fascia in the bottom of the foot. Toes curled back. And then hinging forward towards the foot. This time the right hand coming a little further forward to give you that little twist. Maybe the head towards the knee. And slowly releasing. And coming onto all fours, hands and knees. And a little cat and cow action here. Extend the left leg back, drop the ball of the foot, push out through the heel bone. And keeping balance as you float that left foot up into the air, drive out through the heel bone. Good. More balance, lean into the left hand a little bit, shifting the weight, lifting the right hand, bird dog. And then a couple crunches here. Once again, feeling the flexibility of the spine as you balance the weight. Option to bend that left knee, grab the foot, and create a quadricep stretch. Release, extend, drop the hand, drop the knee, find child pose here. And then slowly come back to all fours, cat and cow. Extend the right leg back, drop the ball of the foot, press out through the heel. Float that foot up. Find your bird dog on this position, this side. And then creating that abdominal strength, closing and opening. Working the rectus abdominis here. Extend. Option to grab the foot and feel the quadricep stretch. Exhale, release, child pose. Inhale, coming back to all fours. Rotate elbows forward, strengthening the arms, curling the toes and lifting the knees a little bit off the mat, pushing the hips back, bend knee, downward dog. Pushing through the arms, spreading the weight through the hands, ears between the biceps, and then slowly press one heel down. Lift it up and press the opposite heel down. Walk out your dog. Feeling the impact on the back of the legs. And then come to your full expression of downward dog. Lift the right foot to the sky, three-legged dog. Step the right foot forward. Keep the hands on the mat. And drop the left knee. Just leaning forward over the hands to feel that back hip flexor stretch. Now, if you can, keep the left hand grounded as you lift the right hand to the sky. Bring both hands onto that right thigh. Find your balance point. And lift the left hand to the sky. And with that left hand, create a big, slow circle. Feel that left shoulder joint. And the next time that left hand comes into the air, bring the right hand up, kneeling warrior. Downward facing dog. Right foot high to the left leg high to the sky. Step forward, hands stay on the mat, right knee stays on the mat. Lean forward in dragon pose, feel that back hip flexor open up. Keeping the right hand on the mat, lean to the right, lift the left hand to the sky. And then slowly bring both hands to the thigh. Right hand to the sky. Big circles. That's it. Next time the right hand comes to the sky, pause, kneeling warrior. Exhale, release, child pose. And then slowly come up and onto your back. Knees together, feet apart, palms out, 45 degrees from the hips, face up. As you breathe out, push the low back into your mat. As you breathe in, relax the belly, relax the spine. Try that again. Squeeze, push. Low back into the mat as you exhale. And then relax as you inhale. Just continue that controlled breath. The next time you exhale, extend the right leg out and pick up the left knee. Grab the left knee with the left hand and start to turn the left knee in a circle. Passive hips. Let the hand do all the turning. Let the leg and the hip relax. Other way. And then change hands. The right hand's going to grab the left knee. Left hand comes out to the side and roll onto your right hip, bringing that knee over into a twist. Come back slowly onto your back. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, keep squeezing that knee. As you exhale, lift the head up and reach for your foot with the left hand. And bring it back into half happy baby and lay the head back down. Now change legs. Pick up the right knee, hug the right knee towards the ribs. Let the left foot go and float back to your mat. Extend the left leg out. Squeezing that right knee in. And then grab the right knee, right hand. And start to circle the hips. passive hip. Switch hands and roll onto the left hip, feeling the twist on this side. Come onto your back and hug that knee in. Lift up the head and reach with your right hand to the right foot. Half happy baby on this side. And then gently release into Shavasana. Let everything go. Relax and let go. Start to wriggle the toes and the fingers. Gently turn the head left and right. Bending the knees, stand the feet on your mat. Clasp the hands behind the head. And then pick your head up off the ground, support it with the hands and wrap the forearms around the skull. Chin to chest. Squeeze the skull. Lift the skull. Lift the knees, curling up into a little ball. And roll to one side carefully. Support the head. And then make your way up to a final seat. Noticing how your seat feels at the end of your practice. Once again, elevate the pelvis. If you're sitting cross-legged. Let the eyes soften or close. Become aware of the internal experience. What's different? From the beginning of practice. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.